Hi guys, and welcome back to Chip's Green World. The snow's thawed, the icy temperatures hopefully are behind us, and spring is finally here. So let's take a short tour around the garden and talk about some of the jobs that'll be coming up this spring. Also looking at how some of the plants have fared over winter. Some doing extremely well, others not so well. It's a beautiful day, so let's get on. The poor little hooker doesn't seem to have liked winter whatsoever, whereas the violets have thrived, the moss too. The hostas and the ferns are still in hibernation mode in their pots. The home oaks have come down a couple of times in the storms, so we're going to have to get round to staking these. The font has got its little mossy coat back, and Elizabeth is doing fine on the courtyard table. The flax lily in the back border's not looking so good. I think it might need a bit more sunshine. Whereas the skimmier white globes are looking fine. They're flowering and looking absolutely beautiful. The red azalea we rescued is looking absolutely gorgeous. And the white azalea has got all little flower buds. Looking beautiful. I don't think we'll get any flowers on the red one this year though. Keep our fingers crossed. And the 2 boxes balls we rescued, repotted and reshaped are full of beans. Whereas not the case for the 6 boxes balls around the centre, looking a bit scraggy, as we never got time to clip them last year, so they've had a bit of a breather. So they'll be getting a spring trim to whip them into shape. Whereas the olive tree is looking magnificent. And another spring job on the list is to repair this top step. After it cracked, it's now come loose and it's a bit dangerous, so there's another job on the list. Look at the lovely moss on my stone trough, isn't it gorgeous? Right, so that's the courtyard done. Let's venture into the top garden. The Fatsia japonica is looking truly amazing under the apple tree. Whereas the white tulips in the pots, not so good. They've been frost damaged. This one's not so bad, but the other one, we've lost it. Sadly, we won't be seeing any tulips from that pot. The new garden path has settled in rather well, but the plants unfortunately not so well, as they've been hit hard by the frost. We've lost 3 of the English lavender, and the Irish mosses are not looking very good at all. But time will tell. We'll see what spring brings. The 3 little pots that we filled with violets have been doing their job and seeding all the way down the pathway, so we should get lots of little violets all the way down the pathway. The lawn's due its first trim, and then we're going to start cutting back all the dead foliage and a good old tidy up. The 2 boxes balls we rescued and reshaped are doing well at the top garden. And now let's take a closer look at the pebble pool. It's pretty much looking how I expected it to look. But the border at the front of the pebble pool, where my clovers used to be, has been swamped with moss. I do love moss, but this is getting beyond a joke. But look, violets. So it looks like I'll have violets on one side and hopefully clover the other, once I clear the moss away. I can't see any sign of my water lily. I just hope it's alright down there in the deep dark. The 2 pots across from the pond student digs for the summer are going to need lifting and separating. And that'll be probably the next job. The mini boxes hedge we planted in the summer is doing fine. But one job we will need to get round to this summer is the cloud tree. And the reason I've been putting it off is because I'm going to redesign the whole thing. I'm going to put it in a smaller pot as this pot is cracked, and then I'm going to redesign the structure altogether. So that's going to be fun. Something to look forward to. And let's have another look at the garden path from this angle. I'm very pleased with how it's settled in. There's no movement in any of the stones, it's very sturdy. But something that isn't so sturdy is this garden bench. And the other one. They're virtually fallen to bits. I've repaired them once or twice over the years, but it's time they go, I think. I'll show you when we get over to the other side how bad that one is. My elephant ears are looking absolutely gorgeous, as are the euphorbias, filled in beautifully. Even going down the garden path to the potting shed, so they'll have to come out. And you can't really see the edging for the path here to the potting shed, so this is another job that's going to be done, because this summer I'm going to be turning the potting shed into a garden office for Gypsy Boy to work from. So that'll be another job this summer. And I'm thinking maybe steps in intervals, maybe. I've still yet to work the design out, so I'll get back to you on that one. We've got a little holly sapling popped up here, so I can see that going in a pot. The clematis, the climbers and the shrubs are yet to come out and completely cover the potting shed roof. Something to look forward to. Then we have this little plant. It's not doing so well. I can't remember the name. It's in the shade, and I'm sure it's a shade-loving plant. Maybe it's getting swamped by the hellebores. In that case, guess what we're doing this spring? This is getting lifted completely and separated, and we're going to put it down in the courtyard in these two pots. And the other one's getting the same treatment, and we're going to divide it into as many as we can get. Then replant it all around this area. So that should be beautiful, but a big job. So I better make sure I'm wearing my big boots. Now over to the fruit orchard, and all the little snowdrops have finished flowering, and now we can look forward to the bluebells. After I thin the ivy out to let a bit of light through, so that's another job. The aqualegia are popping up all over the garden. My favourite spring flower. The daylilies are doing well, and the shrubs are starting to green up. And the rhododendron's looking quite lush coming out of winter, with all its little flower buds ready to burst. And here we have a little peony rose popping its little head up. And then we spot a little bee, enjoying the day, taking advantage of one of the early flowering shrubs. Then we go up and over the archway, passing the white rose, and then down onto the yellow honeysuckle, which is due a bit of a trim, under which is the bench that's lost a leg. I've had stones holding it up for the last 6 months, so we're going to replace. I managed to get 2 used hardwood benches online. I'm going to sand them down, spruce them up at 1/3 of the cost of new ones. So there's another spring job. Then we come to the red quince, looking spectacular all in bloom. But change is afoot for this one too, as it has an appointment in the potting shed. It's getting turned into a bonsai, and its new home will be on the courtyard bench. So don't miss that one, should be fun. Then we come to the 4 silver birches we planted last spring, silvering up nicely, and all 4 managed to get through winter unscathed, with their little green buds ready to burst. Then we come to the border in the centre circle. We're going to be giving this a good tidy up, and then we're going to be adding the 4 salvias and the 2 Jacob's ladders from the student digs. Then we have the 2 cashmere rowings that I've owned for 16 years, and unfortunately I've lost one. So this is going, and the one that remains I'm going to plant in the ground near the pond to give the pond a bit more shade. But to end on a good note, I've got these two new trees that I'm going to be potting up in these beautiful 4 pots, shaping, then placing. And that's about it for this week's vlog, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.